Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger, and today we are chatting with my friend and returning guest, Shane Sams. Shane is, I think, a couple years younger than me, but actually I look to him as a mentor in the membership space. I've learned a ton from him regarding how to start and grow a membership. And I told him that on this episode. He's just been a lot of help to me with taking my business to another level. So thank you, Shane, again. Appreciate you. Appreciate the work that you're doing. He has an awesome membership called Flipped Lifestyle, where he teaches people how to start and grow membership communities. And I am one of them. And he's helped thousands of people. He was on a couple of years ago, and a lot of things have happened in his business since then. He's now a speaker at these Life Surge events all over the country. They get new people into their community from these events, and his business has grown. He said they're now up to 8 figures, which is incredible in the membership space. So Shane, congratulations on that. That is awesome. But in this episode, we talked about so many different things. We got an update on his life, how God literally saved his life. You can hear about that. And we talked about membership communities and how to grow them. One of the things that he said is so good. This is really how I have built my business. But it's so true, and it's worth repeating. Serve others first. And he gave some incredible golden nuggets. Like if there's somebody you're trying to get in front of, you want to be known by them, you think that you have an opportunity to serve their audience, or man, if they would promote my course, my membership, my coaching program, the thing that I'm doing, that would be amazing. One really good way to get in front of them is to buy their course, he says, and to become their best testimonial. They cannot ignore that. They're going to want to talk about you, talk about your success. And quite frankly, that would be an opportunity to be able to build a friendship, a relationship with that person. And who knows what that can turn into. And that has happened so many times in my life. And so I can say, serve others first. That is so good. But guys, go to flippedlifestyle.com/streams, flippedlifestyle.com/streams. If you want to learn how to grow a membership, Shane and Jocelyn they've got it going on. They have thousands of success stories, and I can highly recommend them. But you're going to love this episode. Here it is. Shane, welcome back to Streams of Income. It's so good to see you.
Brother, man, I'm glad we got on this, because I totally messed this podcast up. For everybody out there, me and Ryan had another appointment, but I just ghosted him because I didn't look at my everything fell apart. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and we're all friends. And I'm feeling inadequate right now. I'm feeling a little inadequate because if you're watching this on video anywhere on the interwebs, behind me you can see Kentucky. Like I'm from Kentucky, so I got a big Kentucky thing. But behind Ryan, he's got the world. You got everything behind you. You got a map of the world. So I got to up my my geography.
My vision's
game.
Bigger. Is that right, or something? I don't know. No.
Yeah, I got a real small vision, man. That's all I got.
I don't think so. Your business does not suggest that at all. My goodness, you're traveling all over the world, changing lives. I've followed your journey for many years now, and love what you guys are doing. You're killing it, bro. And I'm honored to have you back on to talk about what's going on in your life since the last time we chatted. God saved your life, literally. And now you're traveling around all over the place and got these surge events. I want to hear about that. But for those that did not hear our first episode, which was episode 106 back in August of 2021, tell us your story.
Yeah, man. So, real quick, I was a school teacher in Southeast Kentucky. I taught U.S. history. I coached football. My wife was an elementary school librarian, and we were on that railroad track, that paycheck to paycheck railroad track to retirement, bro. I mean, that was the whole 30 years plan. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And I had a little incident happen one day. My son, I actually found out he was being mistreated at a daycare center. Really, I didn't know what was going on at the time. He was just telling me one morning that there was a lady there that scared him. and that she was like locking him in a bathroom, and there was like all kinds of things going on. It turned out there was a lot of violent abuse going on at that daycare.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual or anything like that. It was just kids were being punished very violently for.
Why'd they mess with the football coach's son?
Bad idea, son. But now, listen, the morning that I found out, though, like I of course I wanted to go burn down the building, but I didn't really know what was going on like at that moment. Because it was just my 3-year-old telling me.
Yeah, because you're hearing it from a little kid and like, what's true?
Yeah, man. Exactly. He's not very verbal, so is he saying the right things?
Yeah.
So I actually dropped Isaac off over at my daughter's daycare center, and I went to work to ask for the day off work to kind of investigate. And my boss told me no. My boss actually said, I don't think your son's in immediate danger, and I know your son needs you, but your job needs you too. You're going to have to handle your personal problems like after work.
Yeah.
And that sparked something in me to go find another way to earn my income.
Yeah.
I realized that this person felt like they had control over me because they signed my checks, and they thought that my job was more important than my kid. And that's just not going to fly with me.
Yeah.
So, dude, I went out and looked around, and I found out that there was this thing called online business. Me and my wife started an online business. We discovered that you could monetize knowledge, wisdom, experience. You could help people solve problems, and they would give you money. And with the internet, dude, we can reach out to 8 billion people on the planet, you know? And so we started a couple websites. I sold U.S. history teacher lesson plans and football playbooks. My wife sold elementary librarian, the niche of the niches, right?
Yeah.
Elementary librarian lesson plans. And, with just a few hundred people following us, man, it really took off. We were able to get Jocelyn built a huge membership on her elementarylibrarian.com website. She was getting 1,000 people to pay her $50 a month. We were getting coaches using my playbooks from all over the country, history teachers all over the country. And it exploded. I mean, we ended up after it took us about a year to get there, but in the 12th month of our business, we made more money in a single month than we had made in a year teaching school.
Wow.
And that's when we quit. That's when we quit our jobs and we went full-time online. And long story short, one of our friends said, "Hey, I'd like to quit my job too. Do you think you could show me how?"
Yeah.
And we did. And then we realized, oh my gosh, we can help other people quit their jobs just by teaching them online business. So we started Flip Lifestyle, man. That's what we've been doing since 2014. And we've helped thousands of people start, build, and grow online income.
Yes. Man, you've helped me a ton. I got to tell you publicly, I had a successful membership before I met you, but you've helped me take it to a different level because of I joined when you had the Membership Masters newsletter, and just one of those ideas brought me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And that was
dude. Yeah. That's amazing. Do you remember the idea?
Yeah, for sure. No, it was the one where it was a better than Black Friday sale.
Oh yeah,
where you do I might not have done it exactly like you, but it was like I took the full 12 months of what it would be monthly. It was $197 to be a part of my membership, and so it's $23.47 a year. I cut it in half, $11.82, and offered it for Black Friday, an annual plan at $11.82, which is a 50% discount. And I got a ton of not a ton of new people. It was people who already knew, liked, and like and trust me to upgrade to the annual. And
that's amazing, dude. Thank you for telling me that, man.
So
that newsletter, we got so busy with my travel schedule.
Yeah.
That got so overwhelming to do that newsletter as one of our products.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking about bringing it back more as an internal thing in our community, where I do like a monthly video, like Shane's membership monthly masters thing, where I can do like, this is our promotion we're all going to do this month. Let's go crush it. Yeah. And but yeah, man, it was I appreciate you saying that, dude. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference.
It makes me happy that you got a lot of money to spend because of that sale.
That's right. And so I've been bugging your staff for a long time. I need an affiliate link, and you guys finally came out with
we got it. We got an affiliate program now.
I know.
So we got it. All right.
I'm excited about it. So I want to be sharing that, and I will be talking about because I know there's a lot of people out in the membership space, but I just how it's like, you could find so many people that are talking about the same topic, but you just identify or resonate with certain folks. And I just resonate with you and Jocelyn, and the way you do things. And so thank you for what you do. But a couple things, like just give glory to God for saving your life. You were in the hospital. You had an infection. I was following that very closely and praying for you. So I'm just so glad that all worked out.
It was scary. I actually was at a meeting with some business associates, some friends and partners, and we were doing we did a listening prayer meeting for about 30 minutes where we all just listened.
Yeah.
And dude, I did not realize how much trauma I still was carrying from that back in 2021 or 2022. So in January 2022, I was speaking. I was doing a seminar down in Miami, Florida, and I came home, bro, and I was feeling fine. I mean, but a little tired, but you're always tired after travel, right?
Yeah.
And me and a buddy of mine, we went up to Lexington, Kentucky to watch a comedian named Nate Bargatze, and I couldn't even laugh. And he's hilarious. Like that dude's so funny. And I couldn't even laugh. I was so tired and fatigued. So dude, I go home, I get sicker and sicker the next couple of days. Again, just trying to tough it out, see if it goes away.
Yeah.
And my fever eventually hit like 105, went to the emergency room. And I just passed out in the emergency room and woke up in a wheelchair. They took me to a bed. They started hooking me up to IVs. Did a bunch of blood work, and it turned out I had a staph infection in my blood, which is extremely dangerous. Like it can shut down your enzymes, your liver, your organs.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, he actually died from it. He got a staph infection in his blood, and he died in just a few days. And man, it was terrifying. I mean, for the first couple days, they were nobody would ever tell me at the hospital, "You're going to be okay. We're going to beat this." It was always like, "We're going to keep fighting. We're going to take care of this. We're not going to give up,"
Yeah.
And it got to the point, Ryan, where me and Jocelyn were actually talking like, "Hey, if I die, how do you claim the insurance? Who do you call? Who's going to help you? Like, to do these things." And it was really bad, man. I was in the hospital for 9 days total before I got out finally.
And your kids couldn't see you, is that right?
Oh yeah, it was awful. Like, so I was isolated. It was during a COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
And Jocelyn could only come during the day between certain hours. Nobody else could come in.
Wow.
They finally, after a point, let my mom and dad come in, but I think they might have snuck in. I'm not sure how they got up there. And my kids were not even allowed in the hospital. They wouldn't let anyone underage. So,
oh my gosh.
And it was really overwhelming because my daughter's birthday was during the first week I was in the hospital.
Yeah. And
I've always been an at-home entrepreneur. I have never missed a birthday. Yeah. And that was the first birthday I ever had to miss. And after I missed Anna Joe's birthday, man, I got really hopeless, dude. And I was like, I'm going to die. Like I laid in bed at night and I would just watch The Chosen.
Yes.
And I would pray. That's all I would do at night. I was so lonely, so overwhelmed. And, one morning I woke up and I saw the sun come up over the mountains here in Appalachia.
I remember those posts. Yes.
Yeah, man. And I saw it, and my kids have been ever since they've been little. We've taken them to school almost every day because they don't know a point when mom and dad didn't work at home, so we take them to school as a family every morning almost.
Yeah.
And every time the sun comes up, I would tell my kids, "Hey, what's the sunrise mean?" And my kids would say, "God gave us another day." And I said, "That's right. Don't waste it." And that morning, man, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, I can't give up. I can't just let this happen.
Yeah.
And the next day, my a partner of mine, he called me and said, "Hey, we want to get the whole group together. We want to pray for you." So we had a big prayer meeting, and and my friends, my family, everyone prayed over me. And the next day, the doctor came in and was like, "Hey, you're not out of the woods. You're still really sick, and it's going to take a lot of recovery, but the staph is out of your bloodstream. The antibiotics are working. Everything's happening." I had to have a PICC line in for like 6 weeks, and it was crazy, man, because like, in the hotel or in the hospital, I wish it was a hotel. In the hospital, I'm a speaker, and I was scheduled to speak at this huge event in front of like 8,000 people in Dallas. At this event we do called Life Surge, and everybody was freaking out because I'm one of the main speakers on the stage. And my buddy who owns that company, he texts me and he's like, are you okay? We going to get you through this? I'm like, well, whatever you do, no plan B. I'm going to be in Dallas.
Wow.
Because I had so much hope. I was like, that was my goal, was to get out of that hospital, get back to my family, and get to that event. And I had to fly to Dallas by myself because my wife had it somewhere else. She had to take my daughter to cheerleading. So I'm going through TSA security with 70 syringes because I have to take antibiotics 3 times a day in a PICC line. Yeah. They get there and they're not duct taping, but it's like athletic tape, this thing to my arm, my PICC line. And I walked out there and it was awesome. I mean, God is good, man.
He is good.
I don't ever want to do that again, man, because I'm telling you, man, that the trauma, we prayed over it and I dealt with it and we talked about it and I've released it now. But gosh, man, when you stare at a moment where someone won't tell you if you're going to live or die, it'll change the way you think about things.
Wow. Well, again, thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yeah, man.
Bringing you through it. Tell me about the Life Surge events. I know that's something that's happened since we talked. So is that because you were on my podcast the first time that you got that opportunity?
That's exactly right. It may have been. Because that what happened was, I'll tell you what's funny. During when I got an email one day, and I didn't plan on being a public speaker. I've always done this strategy. It's called the Dream 100. I think a guy named Chet Holmes came up with it. There's a guy named Dana Derricks that talks about it a lot out there. He's great.
Dana Derricks is a good friend of both of ours.
Great proponent of the Dream 100 strategy, and the strategy basically for entrepreneurs, which I think is the best strategy you could ever do to grow your business. It's just relationships. Like you serve others first. Like, how can I help other people as much as possible?
That's so good.
And build reciprocity and help each other. Like we go on each other's podcasts.
Yep.
You've been on my podcast. I've been on your podcast, and we go back and forth. And you start. That's the name of the game.
Yep.
And through those relationships, you will help each other grow audience.
Absolutely.
So what happened was I was doing this big Dream 100 push through 2019, and I started it in 2019. Pandemic hits. Now I'm all in on it, because that's all you can do is go on is podcast and do stuff. And a guy out there heard my podcast, a guest appearance, went to my show, went to one of my webinars, said it was the best webinar he'd ever seen. He tells his friend Joe about me.
Yeah.
So I get a call in 2020. Now we all remember 2020. I think what was going on. The whole world shut down. I get this call basically through a long story short of, hey, we're going to start a live event company. And we think that we would like to partner with you. Flip Lifestyles Fulfillment looks really good. We want people to get into your program. We want to promote your program through our live events. And I'm like, are you watching the news, bro? Like, what are you talking about? There's no live events. But it was kind of like one of those situations where it's like, yeah, but everyone else is shutting. Start up. We can hire all the best people. We can go out into the world first. We'll be ready to go when this thing's over. And I kind of liked that positive mindset over the world ending mindset.
Yeah.
So I went kind of all in with these people. Now, Ryan, I was not supposed to speak at the beginning. I was going to speak maybe in seminars and sell my stuff. But I told my story. We were at this first meeting we had. It's down in Florida because it's the only place you could go anywhere. And we were in Florida, and all of the companies involved in this venture, right? This new thing were there. So it's probably 50 to 100 people in the room. I don't remember exactly. Maybe 50 to 75. And every fulfillment brand, there's a guy that teaches real estate. There's a guy that teaches stock. I'm the only one teaching online business. Okay. And everyone kind of tells their story. So I get up there and I do what I do. I just told our story. I said, this is what happens. This is what we do now. I told about a bunch of examples from our community of people who had, done what you did, used our stuff and done good things. Yeah. And when I got done, I just said, that's who we are and that's what we do. And there was a brief moment of 3 seconds of silence. And everyone just erupted standing ovation. Everyone went absolutely crazy. And Joe goes out to the middle of the room. He goes, for everyone that works for me, please don't start an online business and quit your job. Because I just talked about what we do, right? And and he walked up to me and he was like, I think you were born for speaking. I think you need to be a speaker. And there was this guy in there. He's one of the most legendary speakers on the planet. His name's James Smith. Kudos to James Smith. Love him or hate him you'll never ignore him. You know what I mean? He's an amazing speaker. Been going since the 80s, I think. And just a killer. And he walked up to me. It was so funny. This guy's probably sold more on stage than anybody has ever sold in their entire life. Just that prolific of a guy. I consider him a friend and a mentor now. And he walks up to me and he's got his wallet open and he's flipping through his cash. And he goes, I don't know what you're selling, but sell it to me right now. So that kind of pulled me on stage at this Life Surge thing. So what Life Surge is, it's basically a Christian business conference. Okay. And what our goal is to equip believers, to equip kingdom entrepreneurs to go out in the world, to get their influence, to get their impact, to get their income, to build wealth so they have resources to steward. And it's just to help it's not prosperity stuff. Nobody, please don't ever say anything like that about us. That's not what we're in for. But it is getting over poverty mindset. It is building wealth. It's building, like the Proverbs say, an inheritance for your children's children. And it's acquiring and accumulating resources so that you can steward them for your family first, for the people you serve second, and for the kingdom at large.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And it's like a business, it's half worship, half business conference. Like we have great musical acts. We've had Chris Tomlin, Maverick City, Taya from Hillsong. We have amazing speakers, Priscilla Shire, Tim Tebow. Nobody knows who I am until after I walk off stage, right? I like it because I get to walk around the crowd before I speak.
Right.
And then after the speech, I can't move anywhere. Like we had 9,000 people in LA.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm just wandering around the halls, man. One time, dude, I was in Atlanta. I hadn't talked yet. And I walked out during one of the breaks and I kind of get the feel of the crowd before I go out there.
Yeah.
And this lady she's pointing at me and she's going, she's smiling. I'm like pointing at me and I walk over and I thought she might know who I am. And she goes, I dropped my earring under this. Do you think you could help me get it? She thought I was a roadie, bro. She thought I was a roadie, bro. And then I walked out there and I made sure when I was speaking, I made eye contact with her and she looked like she'd seen a ghost because I was one of the speakers on the stage. It was hysterical, man. But that's what we do, enough
to help her out.
We found her here. It's all good. But so that's what Life Surge is, and I've been speaking at other places too. I've went to FinCon, podcast movement, getting more into the speaking world.
That's so good.
And it's been a wild ride, man. It's been just a crazy ride. But
how much is that Life Surge event? Because I know what you're doing there, and you're getting people to come into Flip Lifestyle from that. How much has that grown your membership from those Surge events?
Oh, it's grown revenue insane. I mean, we've turned into we've basically turned into an 8-figure company.
That's incredible.
What I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. It's exponentially grown everything.
Oh my
goodness. It's last year was by far our best year ever. This should be better. It's because one, we've made some switches. We never in our values ladder, in our ascension ladder, always focused on going as wide as possible. We've always done that. And I used to do some one-on-one coaching, but I realized that I would never be able to scale the impact that I could have on people and help people that I want to help them if it was just me doing all the coaching. So I actually hired people from my students, all of our I hired coaches. And they are all 6-figure, and they're all making a full-time living or up to 6 figures online entrepreneurs from our community that went through my program. Yeah. Right. So we scaled our coaching program so that we could sell more high-ticket stuff, like full-blown annual plans for up to 5 figures. Yeah. And now that boost in revenue plus this floor of all the recurring revenue. Yes. I checked this morning. I think we did 100 new just monthly members in the last little bit. Oh my so now we're working both ends of it where we can take people and you can go as slow as you want. You want to do the membership DIY, I just talked to a guy yesterday on my podcast and he's like, I just love the blueprint. It took me to where I needed to be. He's got 40 members. Yeah. But the coaching, now we can work really intense one-on-one with people or people who are more advanced. Yes. So that we can help them do big promotions, like you said, at Black Friday. Yeah. And then the exposure from Life Surge is really good. Life Surge though functions as more like an affiliate though. Okay. That's really how our relationship is. Okay. It's like they're promoting into our product, our product kind of promotes them. Nice. So it's a really good symbiotic affiliate relationship. And that's really opened the door for us. We now have we just started this about a month ago, but we have over 200 affiliates now that are pushing people into our online challenges. So Life Surge only pushes people into our seminars. So the Dream 100 has really turned into what I always envisioned it, man. It's go build relationships, but then promote people. Like right now, for example, I'll tell you a good strategy if you want to do. Everybody can do this. When you are a guest on someone else's podcast, okay, there's always a great opportunity to promote each other, right? And people are going to promote their own content, so you're going to get some publicity there. Sure. But what my team will do, Ryan, now that I'm going to be on your show, is they're going to say, hey, Ryan, let's get you signed up for the affiliate program. We're not just going to opt people in. We're going to tag you.
Yep.
And anyone that buys anything through your link, we're going to send you money every month.
Oh, cool.
That does that. So like we're turning now, my Dream 100 strategy is I don't just want to be on 100 podcasts. I want 100 new affiliates.
Yes.
And then why would someone not continue to promote it if every month you get a check, like, well, I need to share that on Facebook again.
Exactly.
It's a reminder to reshare my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So we can create these incredible relationships and grow our businesses. And it's so much safer than ads and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. I love it. We could go somewhere. I know you got about 24 more minutes, and I got a couple things I'd like to ask you privately too. But let's dig into the memberships. I talk to a lot of people. Every time I love brainstorming calls with people where I help them see what's possible. And I almost always turn it into, you need to start a membership. I feel like I'm, you talking to them like on your podcast where you give them the whole path forward. But I'd love to hear from you, like, why memberships? And also the other question I usually get from folks is that seems like so much like if somebody's created a course, that membership step seems like a whole lot of work. And I explain to them, it's really not. If you have the right team and do the right things and do what you teach, but talk about why memberships are our favorite, you and my favorite, and also why it's not really any more work than a course.
Yeah. So memberships, the need for a membership came out of my need for a paycheck, right? Yeah. Like I liked getting a paycheck every couple of weeks. I just hated that it ran out the day before it every time. Yeah. Right. And we wanted stable income. Like I wanted predictable income. Courses are great. I mean, you can sell courses, but what if you don't sell anymore?
Exactly.
Coaching is great, but what if your clients all quit? But memberships, like if I get a member right now, our average members in our current monthly iteration stayed 12.04 months.
That's awesome.
So let's say I go out and get 100 people to pay me $50 a month. Well, that's $5,000 a month for 12 months. Like I know what I'm going to make in the future.
Yes.
Not what I'm going to make today. It also does something else. When you know that, the reason I love memberships so much is it creates a floor. So like I know that online business has no ceiling, guys. You can make as much money as you want. I've not even found the roof yet. Okay. We just keep figuring out ways to make more if we want to. If we don't want to, we can stay where we are and be content. That's fine. But what a membership does is it's like, I know if I know how many members I've got, I know how many on average leave and how long they stay, I can predict the floor of my business in the future. So if I have a bad month of new sales, well, my floor is 60K. My floor is 120K. I got 200 members. Like, it takes so much stress and anxiety off of you to have a membership tier. Yeah. Like I can't, it's like when Dave Ramsey tells people, the feeling when they get out of debt. When you're an entrepreneur and you have recurring revenue that you can predict 6 to 12 months out.
Yeah.
You are free. You're unshackled to take risks. You don't have to worry about feeding your family. And that clarity gives you so much more space to do the fun stuff. The entrepreneurial stuff, to dream and to make relationships and go on podcasts, and you're just not worried all the time, So that's what I like about it. And it's the best entry point into any sales funnel, period. Tripwires and lead magnets and whatever you say. If you can get like a free trial and you get 100 people to take the free trial and maybe half of them keep it, okay? Nobody's going to say no to that. It's free. If you don't like it, leave. If you do love it, stay. Yes. And now once you get people in a membership, maybe in the membership, all they're doing, let's talk about time, is watching your course. And once a week, 1 hour a week, you show up and answer questions about your course.
Yes.
And then the rest of the time, you put your people in a place where they can talk to each other and have a community, make friends. All of a sudden, you've got this thing that's bigger than just a course. But guess what happens? People stay 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Some of them crush it. You get a bunch of testimonials. Some of them get a little stuck or frustrated. Guess what they immediately do? Hey, Shane. Hey, Ryan. Where can I get more help? They don't go to Google anymore. They don't go to YouTube anymore. They ask you, the leader and founder of the community, how to get more help. Well, guess what? Well, I mean, for $500 a month, we can work one-on-one. Oh, you now have a whole new level in your business. You've got this higher ticket. So it's the best seed for higher revenue generating things that you can ever have. And it creates super fans, man. You build relationship that has people go out, and your members will advocate for you. Your customers always won't, but your members will. and because they love the community. So that's why I love it. That's why it is the bedrock foundation of everything that I will ever build for the rest of my life when it comes to entrepreneurship is a community-based, recurring revenue-based membership where I can also deliver courses, coaching, services, and physical products, even if I wanted to.
Yes. I'm always using your 3 C's: content, community, and coaching when I'm talking to people.
That's right, man. Yeah, that's it, dude. That's really it, man. That's like anybody out there can serve a past version of themselves. Anybody. You can take, you have solved problems. There is somebody going through that problem that can't find the solution. You can reach back one chapter behind and help them.
Yes. With
content, all right. And then you can build a community around that service, right? And you can use your story as your marketing. You don't have a degree in marketing or an MBA. Yeah. You can use your story as your greatest marketing. And then the people you help will have stories and you go tell their stories, and that will be your best marketing. And that can become your entire business model. So the membership just lays on top of that with content, community, and coaching so well to go free content, low ticket community, high ticket coaching. It's elegant and beautiful, and you can't chat GPT your way past that. People love human connection and help.
They so do. That's so true. What do you say to the person who's like, Shane, I want to do this, but I've got 10 people on my email list. Do you feel like they can go right into a membership, or should they build their email list a little bit up before they do a launch?
Well, I would get those 10 people to pay me $50 a month, and then you'll have $500 a month to grow your email list with.
Yeah.
There is no chicken and egg here, guys. Money makes the mission possible. Yeah. I don't care if you have one person, that's $50 a month. That's $100 a month. I mean, I know people that charge $579 a month for a membership.
Wow.
So if whoever you have, like, I always tell people about their list. Like, say you had 10 people. Like, I'm in a room right now that's 12 by 10. It's a little bitty room where I keep my studio. Your room, is it a living room? Where are you at right now?
I'm in my office. It's probably, what do you think? 15 by 10 or something like that. It's not very much.
Imagine 10 people standing around you right now watching this show.
Yeah.
That'd be a full room.
Yes, it
right?
would. Yeah.
Your emails are 10 humans. Why not put them in a membership? Right. Like, we had a guy launch recently. He had 126 people. His name's Chris. And he had 100. He's going to be coming out on my podcast. 126 people in his list. He launched and got 40 of them to pay $49 a month. That's $2,000 a month. That's like, but it was just actually, it wasn't even an email list. It was a Facebook group.
Wow.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't underestimate a small audience. The first time we ever launched, we only had 200 librarians, 250 maybe, paying attention to us. So launch small, grow big. That's always my recommendation. And I actually find, I don't want to bash anybody, but if someone's out there telling you just grow an audience, be an influencer, eventually the money will come, that person's broke and couldn't monetize an audience. So they're selling something else to you. It almost always works out. Serve customers first. The audience will grow on top of that. It's backwards to what most people do.
Yeah. What about open versus closed? I've always stayed open, and I always like what you said. But I know there's people that do it really well. Our friend Dan Miller, whom I'm actually going to see tomorrow night. He's going to be here in this. I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I said hello.
I will definitely do that. But I think he's moved his 48 Days Eagles group to more of a closed model.
He told me
I know people that are doing it very successfully, and I understand why they do it. I've just always kept mine open, and I just do the dollar trials and bonuses, and I switch up the bonuses and follow what you do, and it's works for me. So
I think I'm in more of a hybrid mindset with it now. I know it works really well. I think if high ticket stuff comes into it, there's a little bit of a difference in why you should close it.
Sure.
But I like in the beginning, your first 200 to 500 members, stay open. Guys, if someone shows up at your website and they want to give you money, why are you telling them not to? That makes absolutely no sense. You're in the foundation. You're trying to build, right?
Yeah.
So keep it open. Do promotions every month. Make sure a link at the bottom of every email and every PS. Email people every day, Monday through Friday. You got to, man. But keep it open. Now, there comes a point where there's reasons to close it. For one thing is influx. My audience is big enough now. Like when I open it, 50 people, 60 people, 70 people can join at once. Just from an email, So there's a customer service problem there a little bit.
Yeah,
that many people are coming in too fast, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you got some higher end products that you're funneling into, you know? So a throttle is good. What we've actually done now is let me let the secret out here, to throttle it just a little, because we want to make sure that we serve everybody that comes in at a high level when they're coming into the membership, get them onboarded, get them the resources, get them logged in, all that good stuff. What we do is there's nothing completely open on my website now where you can just go click a button and join, right? But there is a funnel where we're vetting you through automation. So like if you got like if someone hears this podcast, they come, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen if you go this. So I'm going to give away a freebie, right?
Yep. If
I give a freebie to, it's going to be fliplifestyle.com/streams. If you go to that, you're going to have an opt-in there, and I'm going to give you a free course, maybe how to find an idea for your membership. Okay, there you go, online business. So when you go there, you're going to opt in. Now we're going to see what happens. What do you do? Are you serious? Are you going to open the email? Yeah. Are you going to click the link? Are you going to watch the video? Like, if you're really serious, then we want to have another conversation with you about being a part of our community. So then you might be taken eventually to a page where it's like, hey, you're doing great. You've watched the resources. You've got an idea. Let's go ahead and take you down the rabbit hole here. And then you'll say, hey, here's this is our first tier of our membership. Yeah. It's $49 a month. So we've kind of got it's kind of open, but with a throttle to make sure that we can control the influx of people that are coming in. And so we can vet our community. We're very protective of our community's culture. We don't want dabblers. I actually don't offer a free trial anymore for that exact reason. I want to make sure the people in our community have skin in the game from day one now. Whereas in the beginning, I needed as many people to join as possible because I needed money in my wallet. Forget your skin in the game. I needed to pay my bills. So I had to have people coming in. Sure. So that's more how we do it now, is we created an automated funnel, checking for action, checking for commitment, checking for you. And once you get in the community, then you can move on and be a part of what we created.
That's good. But that's something you had it was a progress. It wasn't, you didn't instantly start there.
Yeah, this is 10 years in the making. I mean, we started doing that in like the 9th year. I actually have a saying now that I've kind of come up with, because the problem with experts who are experts is people want to mimic what they're doing now. And that is a huge mistake. You've got to do what I did before you get to do what I do now. So, do what I did when I started my business. You're at the beginning of your journey, or you may be intermediate in your journey.
Yeah.
How did I get from 0 to 500, not beyond? That's what you've got to do first. And that's a good way to learn anything, really, if you think about it.
That's so good. What do you say to the folks who aren't real? I know you have a whole module in the course, Flip Lifestyle, to figure out your idea. But as somebody who is not sure whether they start more broad or instantly go right down to the elementary school librarian who is a woman that is age 30 to 35. What if they just like, I love books and I want to do a book membership, but man, I guess, what do you say versus starting like more broad versus niche down, right, laser focused from the beginning?
You can start broad if you want to, but it's going to be harder. I mean, we got broad. We weren't broad. When we started out, Flip Lifestyle was, I only talked to people with kids under the age of 6. Because, that was my target demographic. We got other people, but it was our target demographic because that was me, right? So I would say people do get too into this niche marketing and long tail stuff. Like, they go way too low. Like, I'm only going to talk to librarians with brown hair who are born on a Tuesday. That makes no sense, But like, start as narrow as you can, but and keep a balance. It's almost like a Venn diagram between broad and narrow. Like I did football coaches who taught defense. That was low enough. I eventually niched down into a specific playbook, but I started out with football coaches. That was my big general thing. That's too broad. Who liked defense. Okay. Yeah. U.S. history teachers, I went really specific, but we've actually had spinoffs now into like world history and other things. So we niched down, and then we're now moving out back through the social studies field. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't go too niche. The big thing is, man, find something to start with within like 48 hours. Quit thinking too hard about it. Right now, you got nothing. What's the worst case scenario? You still got nothing. You got to do something to get something. So find your idea quickly. Yeah. We actually teach it in buckets. Love like categories of where to find your idea. You'll find one. Go see if it works. Take the next 3 months and just try it. And then you'll probably be okay. People think they have to hit a home run, but dude, I strike out every day. But if I go to bat 4 times, I'm going to hit one of them.
That's right.
So that's all it is. It's about swings.
Yes. So I don't know if you've stayed up to date but our friend Vincent Puglisi, who just came out with I had him on my podcast recently, and he talks about, used to be a sports photographer, and he talks about the stadium example of the people at the higher, like for example, the suites, that's your high ticket coaching. Then you got people that are listening on the radio. That's your podcast. And so he just launched a new $9 per month membership called Total Life Freedom School. And I can send you the link to the video of the page because it's just so good. That's a genius
analogy. That is a genius analogy. I'm a football coach. How have I never thought about this analogy? I'm sending Vincent a text as soon as we get off here and be like, "You're holding out on me, buddy."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you should have him back on your podcast, or you should be on his.
Back on the podcast to explain this. Yes,
to talk about it. But he talks about in that intro video about Pittsburgh. There's two rivers that flow into a third, and it gets stronger. And so he says that at the beginning, you just need content and connections. And so for him, that means like create long form content, start a podcast, write a blog, put out content and connect with people. And that will eventually flow. You'll be able to start a stream of income from that. And so I want to tell you about that too, but I also want to ask you, like, what do you suggest people do? That'd be the last question, to when they're getting started, what should they be doing? I mean, okay, got my membership, and okay, now what? Of course, I'm going to serve folks, but what do you suggest? I know you're a podcaster, so you might say podcasting, and that's what I like to do. But what do you suggest for getting new people into the funnel?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing you can do to get people in your funnel is build relationships. I'm telling you, have people on yours, get on theirs, start small. It doesn't matter. But like having relationships in the space you're in is so valuable. Like go type into Facebook for a group in your area. Like if you teach people how to, I don't know, be a farmer, whatever, but like raise chickens. Go type in and find all the Facebook groups about chickens. You know what's crazy? You can click on those groups and see who owns them and reach out to them. Go out and buy. This is, I don't always share this tip, but I will. The best way to get in front of a lot of people fast is to go find someone with a lot of people, buy their course, and become their best testimonial.
Yes.
I do this all the time, man. Like I will go out and I'll be like, okay, well, I'll go buy Pat Flynn's thing and I'll go and become his best testimonial. How could he not tell everybody about me? Right. Yeah. I'm his best testimonial. Right. We went to ClickFunnels headquarters, and I've screamed the praises of Expert Secrets everywhere for Russell Brunson. Yeah. You know, like, go out and connect with people. There's only two ways to do it. You can work your way in or buy your way in. So, and if you become the testimonial, you're succeeding. So it's motivation. Okay. So build relationships, get yourself out there. The top of the funnel is actually all that matters. Fulfillment will settle. Right now, my fulfillment's world class, and it's awesome, and we know how to do it, and we know how to get people wins if they show up. But like my job every day, 80% of what we do in all of our businesses is how do I get more people to discover me? Yeah. I can get them to purchase through a funnel, but how do I get them to find me? So spend most of your time there, and eventually don't stop. Be consistent, be prolific, be relentless. And eventually good things can happen.
That's so good. Shane, thank you. You're welcome back anytime. You just tell me, you just say, hey, I got something else I want to talk about. I gotta have
you back over on mine too, man.
For sure. Happy to do it.
And I have the top of my funnel with me. It's flippedlifestyle.com/streams.
Awesome.
And I'll get everybody out there. I'll give you my idea training. It comes out of the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. It'll help you find an idea, and that it'll help you research your idea so you can get it started. And then we have other resources to help you if you want to go out and monetize your knowledge, your wisdom, your passions, your experience through memberships. Why not go get 200 people to pay you $50 a month? We can show you how.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it works, because I'm a testimonial. I mean, I jumped in. I didn't start learning memberships from you, but you've helped me grow it to another level that I wouldn't have otherwise. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Ryan.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.